You're listening to the Business Marketing Show, episode number 28. You can find us at businessmarketingshow.com, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher.
Welcome to the Business Marketing Show. I am Brendan from the Search Engine Shop, here with my co-host Ed from Online Impact. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Brendan. How are you, mate?
I'm well, thanks. Actually, honestly, a bit sleepy today.
So... Oh, no, right. You need to pop something. Have a coffee. You don't drink coffee, that's right.
Well, I've got
a very strong tea.
I've got a green tea here, so we'll see how we go.
I've just had a coffee, so I'm going to be talking really fast like this. You won't be able to keep up with me, Brendan. So everybody pay attention. Or you can slow it down. That's a good thing. If you listen to this on a podcast player, you can actually control the volume. Like I normally do when I listen to podcasts. Sorry, that's it. See, I'm going so fast I can't keep up with myself. Normally you can control the volume and some. Sorry, I did it again. the speed. So I'll go from 1 to 1.5 or 2. Now, it depends on how fast the person's talking, but you can actually listen to things very quickly. So, That being said, we're talking about things that you're watching and listening today and how to use those in your marketing. And we're going to be covering videos and YouTube in particular, and SEO related to that. So what have you got in mind, Brendan?
Well, Ed, we had a few episodes ago, we had Matt on and talked about video stuff.
Yes.
And we have a lot, like I guess you do too, have a lot of clients with video and some clients with a lot of video. And most of the time, they haven't done even the basics to get the most mileage out of the video. So today I want to talk about getting more mileage out of your existing videos and video SEO. So getting the videos to appear, well, basically our goal is to get the videos to appear more often in front of people. So that's in Google search, Bing search, and YouTube search. Now YouTube is the second biggest search engine. So it's definitely worth paying attention to it. And
I'm going to just focus on that for 2 secs, sorry.
Sure.
Because I don't think a lot of people realise that is an actual fact in terms of YouTube, even though, yes, it is Google, but it's the second biggest source of traffic in terms of search engines that there is for people who go onto YouTube and look for something. It could be how to do something, to solve a problem, whatever it may be. That is pretty huge. I mean, that I think at some stage may even eclipse the normal search. So having some sort of video on YouTube that can bring people in is awesome. So anyway, I just wanted to harp on that for a second.
Yeah, so getting the videos more exposure, getting in front of people and actually getting them to hit the play button when they see the video. So we're going to talk about a bunch of easy steps today. A lot of them you can DIY that make that happen, I guess. Our goal really is to get the videos in front of more people so they actually, search social networks, and then when they see the video, actually pressing the play button. So, it's like like normal SEO, it's one thing to actually rank in the search results. The actual goal is to get people to click, so we've got to focus on 2 things here. So we have a bunch of mostly DIY and common sense things that you can do around video that will make the video work much harder for you.
Okay. So what are those?
So
Let's get into number 1.
Which I see pretty regularly is YouTube should be the default driver of your videos. So if you have video, really you should have a YouTube channel for it, and any videos embedded on your website should be driven by YouTube unless you have a specific reason not to do that.
Okay, and why would someone have a specific reason not to? What's an example?
Well, they could have it. So the video can actually be loaded in its raw format onto your website, and it can play through like a third-party player plugin. So I see, particularly if you've got older video, a lot of videos driven like that. So, that's okay, but then you're missing out on that YouTube mileage. So if you're not pushing views through YouTube. So let's take a step back. The YouTube search, the rankings in YouTube search are driven a lot by the number of plays and the number of loads that the video gets. So just by using YouTube as the default player on your website, you're going to naturally rank higher in the YouTube search and probably Google search for that video.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of people are using particularly older videos, they're just the raw video uploaded to the website. A lot of people use Vimeo as the default player because the player looks, well, in the past there was a big difference between the YouTube player and the Vimeo player, and the Vimeo player just looked better.
Yeah.
But YouTube have changed their player, so it looks a lot more slick now.
It does, yeah.
So that's not really a problem anymore. And then there could be other reasons, like you want to have security around the video. You don't want the video to be embedded on other websites. So in those sort of cases, generally we use Vimeo for that, where we need more security and control over where the video is displayed or embedded or that sort of thing.
Yeah, and the other thing, of course, is if you're streaming it or embedding it on your website from YouTube, it's using their bandwidth, not yours, so it's not playing from your hosting if you had the video installed there, which can be huge.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of there's some under the bonnet technical stuff that happens when the video is embedded on YouTube instead of the file just being uploaded to your website. One of the big ones is that it plays on all devices without an issue, but the other one is a user can skip through halfway through the video and it will skip there directly, whereas oftentimes when you have the video just loaded directly to your website and using whatever third-party player to skip to the middle of the video, the computer has to download every bit of the video up to that section where it skipped to.
Yeah, exactly. So in other words, why wouldn't you? Other than security reasons or keeping something private, that's probably a different scenario. But in most circumstances, having it installed from or embedded from YouTube is going to be suitable for most people.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
So other things we see that are like massive blind spots that people aren't paying attention to is getting the YouTube channel set up properly. So if you have a video loaded onto YouTube, you have a YouTube channel. So that channel is going to get quite a bit of traffic. It'll probably get more traffic than if you have a Facebook page, comparing the two. So a lot of people don't even have like the basics set up. They don't have a description about their business. They don't have a blurb. They don't have like a header image for the YouTube channel. So it just looks really raw and basically not set up. So basically, just the process of setting up, adding your logo, adding your profile image, adding a blurb about the business and a link to your website will make that YouTube channel work harder, and it will look better because it will have people and customers visiting it. So it'd be like having a website that has no business logo on it. It's the equivalent of doing that. So
yeah, exactly. And let's be clear, to set up a YouTube channel for any business, it is not something that Google charges you for. I mean, you may have to pay someone to set it up if you don't want to do it yourself, but there's no actual cost from Google for setting up a YouTube channel.
No.
So,
and it's not a big deal either. Like, I think a lot of people think it's very technical and whatever, but it's not. So very easy, very quick and simple.
Okay. Very good.
So probably the third one is, so you can actually have Google Analytics on your YouTube channel now. So if you are doing a lot with video, you can actually get detailed stats on what people are looking at, how long they're hanging around on the channel, which videos are getting the most plays, and even be able to see the traffic sources for the different videos. So that's another important one. So if you're doing a lot with video, that's definitely worth doing. So that's kind of like, I break the video channels down into 3 tiers. So I'd say YouTube's tier 1, most important at the top. It should get most of your attention. Tier 2 is your Facebook page and Vimeo.com, so Vimeo.com. So I say a lot that Facebook is really the only competitor, or the only potential competitor in the video space to YouTube. So basically anything you do on YouTube, you should do on your Facebook page as well. So if you upload a video to YouTube, you should upload that same video to Facebook. And there's a few reasons for that. One, you want to have some balance there. You don't want to just rely on YouTube for video, because if they change the rules in future, who knows what's going to happen. 2, the videos will rank in the Google search results. So there's no harm in uploading the same video to all these different channels, because the video is going to rank in the Google search results for various different search terms. And then the third one is you'll get backlinks to your website. So if you have that one video and you upload it to all the video channels, you get high quality backlinks. So the website actually benefits from that in a search engine optimization, from a search engine optimization perspective. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. Too true. I was having this conversation with a client the other day about producing some videos for their site. And they are a bull bar and rhubarb manufacturer. For those who are listening in other parts of the world, a rhubarb means a kangaroo bar. It's something that's stuck on the front of a car or a truck or a bus, so that if you hit a kangaroo when you're driving along during the day or at night when they decide to hop across the road, your car doesn't get smashed up. So we call them rhubars. Sounds pretty horrific, but unfortunately in Australia, in the outback, it's a pretty bad problem, and a kangaroo smashing in front of your car can make a major impact and pretty much ride off a car sometimes. So I was saying, look, you should really put some videos on YouTube about this and the different types, and because these are all made in Western Australia, so they're not imported, and his competition doing it, and they're all over the place on YouTube. So I'm saying, and they've had tens of thousands of views on that, someone searching on bull bars or rhubars. So he's missing out. So very, very important to try and get on that other source of traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. So just on the Facebook video stuff as well, they introduced some new changes in the last couple of weeks too. So if you're already doing video stuff on Facebook, if you click across the videos tab, you can now set a featured video and they have playlists. So very similar to YouTube. So those are worth checking out too.
Cool. And look, that's you. Anytime you go on Facebook now, the videos are very prominent, and they're always in the, scrolling up and down on the page. They're embedded everywhere. So
absolutely. Cool. So then, setting up a Vimeo profile or a Vimeo account. So that's free. And Vimeo, the funny thing is, like if you do a Google search, often you'll find the same video uploaded to YouTube and uploaded to Vimeo. Often the Vimeo embed or the Vimeo video will show up in the Google search results when the YouTube video doesn't. So it's
interesting.
For the
that is.
If you're uploading it's because the SEO properties of YouTube are very different to the SEO properties of Vimeo. So in some cases, the Vimeo video will just naturally rank because whatever the SEO properties are. So I mean, if you have a video and you're doing the steps to upload it to YouTube, it's only a little bit extra work to upload the same video to Vimeo. So we see big results. So often we'll get a new client who has videos on YouTube, and we'll take the videos, we'll download them off YouTube if they don't have the raw source files, and we'll go and upload them to the Facebook page and upload them to the Vimeo page, and the videos will get, overall, we might get a 30 or 40% increase in views on the videos. So the videos are effectively working 50% harder. Okay. And they start ranking in the search results, so they start getting more search traffic as well. Uploading to Vimeo. And then there's the tier 3 of video sites. So I've got a few in there, but the one to focus on is Dailymotion. So dailymotion.com. So that's the same thing, very similar to YouTube. Set up a page, set up an image, a blurb about the business, and getting the videos uploaded there as well. So if you do a Google search for something, if you click the videos tab in Google, you'll see the 4 sites that generally show up are YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, and Dailymotion. So by having the videos on all of those, we get the most coverage and the best possibility of showing up in the search results.
Okay. What about other third-party applications that probably have a bit more of a specific use? Things like Wistia. Have you dealt much with Wistia?
Yeah, I mean, I've used Wistia. The big thing is the stats in Wistia are very good. So if you want really detailed stats in your video, then Wistia is great. If you don't care about the stats so much, then you're paying a lot of money for something that doesn't drive that much benefit. So I have a few videos on Wistia, but to be honest, I don't care that much about the stats. The stats I get from Vimeo and YouTube with Google Analytics on YouTube now are just as good. So
yeah, okay. So that's an important thing, because back in the day, like going back a couple of years, you weren't getting those stats, and now because of analytics being connected to YouTube and Vimeo, you can get it. So that's good. So, but it's another option for people for some reason if they want to use it.
Yeah. So the stats are very good on Wistia. So if you do want detailed info on videos, or if you have a sales video, then that's worth doing.
So what about audio on YouTube? Because this is something that we do. Our podcast is in YouTube, but only in audio format. There's just an image of our logo on there and the name of the episode. What would be the benefit of putting an audio on YouTube for people to listen to?
Well, again, the reason why, the search traffic for one. So by having the audios on YouTube, the podcast episodes are showing up or have the potential to show up in the search results. And then YouTube's very portable, so it kind of plays, it's very compatible with everything. So
Yeah.
it plays on all devices. It'll play on smartphones, tablets, PCs, and there's a whole bunch of other kind of smaller features that kind of have some benefit to us as embedding the audio. So yeah, I think
this is something.
Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
yeah. I think I hadn't actually asked the question, even though it's on our podcast, is the file size smaller when you upload? For example, we have a 60 megabyte MP3 file playing for this podcast. Does that file stay the same size on YouTube, or does it get compressed at all, or what's the story with that with YouTube?
It's pretty much the same size because MP4 uses MP3 for the video stream. Or you can set the settings. You can use different compression from the audio.
Okay.
But basically, the audio is just going in raw. So it's basically the video file is the same size. So if the audio is 50 meg, the video file might be 51 or 52 meg because it has an image and it has a bit of overhead. So
okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, not a big variation, but certainly an extra stream of traffic. So what have you got next on your list?
Well, the last thing I have is, so a lot of people go and upload all these videos everywhere, but they never set the thumbnail that shows when the video is not playing. So again, remember, we've got two things we need to focus on. One is getting the video exposure so people actually see the video, and then the second is getting them to hit the play button. So this is a big one because often the frame that's shown when the video is not playing or before it plays is pretty rubbish and doesn't explain what the video is. So by uploading a custom thumbnail, like a custom preview thumbnail with a basic call to action or some information about what the video is, you're going to get a lot more plays on it. And it also looks better when it's embedded. So, because YouTube in particular, by default, if you're on a slow connection and a video is embedded on a website, it actually, the image that shows before it plays is pretty rough and grainy. So it doesn't do, a lot of the time it doesn't do the video justice. So even if the video is in high res, the image that displays can be quite grainy and look nothing like high res. So
yeah, and normally it's not the actual screenshot or the thumbnail that you're looking at is just some random spot in the video, isn't it? Often it's if it hasn't been selected. Because this is one thing I picked up with a video podcast I watch about domain names, and Michael Seiger, hello Michael if you're listening, at domainsherpa.com. And it took me a little while to click that this is what he was doing, but he was actually going through, has a panel of people that come on the podcast and they discuss different domain names and values of them and portfolio values, etc. And he would have a picture of each of the people that was going to be on the show. And at the start of the video or the thumbnail, they were always in a laughing state. Like they always had head back laughing. And so it looked fun. I thought, this is weird. How come they're always in the laugh? And then I clicked. I thought, so he's actually going through and getting it and producing that so they all look happy and having fun. I thought that's very clever. And that's the consistent theme through all of his videos is people laughing. So I don't know, but whether that's good or bad, but it was just something I suppose that you can control. So why wouldn't you, rather than just having it sort of in the middle of the video somewhere?
yeah, exactly. I mean, we've talked before when you talk about AdWords, swapping the top and bottom line in an AdWords ad can double the amount of people who click on it. So the same thing with the video. So having a good custom thumbnail rather than a random frame could potentially 20, 50, 100% increase in people who actually hit the click the play button when they see the video. So it's a small, again, like there's a big chunk of work to do video stuff, and then all these small little steps might take a few extra minutes each, but if you add them all up, you get 100% increase in the benefit you're getting from the video. So
yeah, I mean, you're dead right. So people will spend hours actually producing the video, but then when it comes to the actual setup of this stuff, they just default settings of whatever's in YouTube, and they don't do anything like this. And so all that work they put in is really not getting maximized. So very important to pay attention to the small details that make the big difference in the end. So
that brings me to the next point. When people upload the videos, often they upload the video, it says whatever it is, video blah 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 .mp4 for example, and they'll just upload it and they'll leave that as the title in YouTube. They won't add a description to it, they add no tags to it. So again, going in and writing a good custom title for the video, having a blurb description and a link back to your website in the description section, and setting up the tags. So the tags actually work like the old school keyword, meta keywords field that is people use on their website. So adding 5 to 10 tags, if you do that little step again, the video will work much better. It looks more professional. I hate when I see a YouTube video and it has, you can see it in the title bar, it has blah 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 .mp4. It's like they went to all this trouble to do a video, but then they didn't do this little detail work that just, it's this tiny little detail that just makes it look terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes 2 seconds to do, to type it in. So very important. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there's so many different types of businesses and out there that can benefit from having videos. There's probably not that many that can't benefit from video. I'm trying to think of ones that wouldn't, but there'd be some exceptions. But considering how fast video has grown and how the move from people watching television now to media on demand, as we would call YouTube, it's phenomenal, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, look at the youth. Anyone who's grown up in the last 5 years or so, from a young age up to sort of teenage years or in their 20s, they're all looking at YouTube. That's what they're watching.
Yeah.
So, and they may go to some other sites to watch some other types of videos, but in terms of that, it's YouTube video, Facebook video, Snapchat stuff, or something like that. But it's all based around video.
Yeah.
So,
and also there's different. We've talked about before. There's different modalities. Some people prefer to read text on a page. Some people prefer to watch a 3-minute video. So it just depends. So if you only have text, then potentially missing out on all these people who prefer to use video. And some things are just better, like easier explained in video. Like a short video might be easier than a big wall of text and detailed instructions. So just depends.
Yeah.
I think in the podcast with Matt, we talked about some of the video types. So you can have a generic about us video, you can have testimonials videos, you can have like demonstration videos, like how-to videos. So there's plenty of types of video that you can leverage. I think the the general about us video works really well for a lot of businesses, so long as it's not done in that. We've talked about before that a lot of people 5 years ago, when video became more prominent, they basically had like a late night infomercial video done for their business and put that on the homepage of the website, which didn't really make sense.
No, absolutely not. And we've seen some real shockers.
Yeah.
But the other thing you do with video, of course, is repurpose the audio. So if you wanted to produce an audio podcast from your video, I think as long as there's not, if the video is a lot of diagrams and pictures and things you're actually pointing to or talking about, then producing that into an audio could probably just be frustrating for people because they're not actually seeing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So be picky about the type of audio that you're going to repurpose from a video. But if it's just sort of a talking subject, then that's fine. It could save you the hassle of, you can have a podcast. So you've just created another medium that you're getting out to people who can't watch the video, but they want to listen to it while they're driving or riding their bike or exercising, whatever. So
one thing I did recently, I did an e-commerce workshop or a talk at an e-commerce event, and the audio was recorded. So I took the audio and had a guy sync the audio with the PowerPoint, with the slides for the presentation, so you could watch along on YouTube and watch the slides as we went through the audio. So he went and synced it up. So he synced he synced the audio basically with the slide set. So that's
awesome.
Another way you can use it too.
Yeah, and what did that cost to get done? That was
not much.
Probably not.
Maybe $50 or something like that. So some student that it's not a big deal. It's probably like, I don't know, probably took him in. The audio was half an hour long, so it probably took him an hour and a half to do. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's a very good tip. I'm sure I've seen that done before. People have done that, so that's awesome. So are we? Look, there's lots more we could talk about in terms of maximizing your video channel, but that's a good starting point for people who are only just getting into this sort of field. And it's funny, YouTube was purchased by Google 10 years ago this year. I'm pretty sure it's 2005. I might be wrong about that, but from my memory banks, it's 2005. Seems like yesterday. And everyone was laughing at them when they spent 1.8 billion or whatever they paid for it.
Yep.
Who's laughing? Who's laughing now? So don't ignore it. And if you're a business that your competition is on YouTube, then guess what? That's probably a good tip that you should be there as well.
Yeah.
So,
and we'll link across to in the notes to the video episode we did with Matt.
yes.
And also on
absolutely.
his website there is a page where he has different videos. He has some example videos of the different type of videos you can use in business. So it's worth, if you think about video, it's worth going over there and having a look at those. But definitely, I think there's a lot of power these days in having a good kind of general video about your business and a walkthrough of the premises, or with the staff, or something along those lines, because it gives people, we've talked about before in another episode, that the clients that I'm working with that really win online take that first and second step of the sales process, or the whatever the experience is when a customer does business with them, taking that first step, second step, and bring it online so people can actually feel it and see it and kind of interact with it through the website before they even come to the business. So
the warm fuzzies. Yeah,
exactly, and it gets them engaged and gets that emotional connection happening. Because we've talked about before, like, people buy on emotion and they justify it with logic. So using things like video, and good quality video, I think the days of breaking out the iPhone and doing some rough video are probably over for the most part. But I think good quality video really gets that emotional connection. And all things being equal, someone with good video versus someone with no video, the video website's probably going to win. So.
Yeah, and look, it's not expensive to get some decent video gear. You can probably get set up to do some video recording for $1,000 these days. Get a full HD camera with a microphone and some lighting, and before you know it, you've got a recording setup. So. But look, the iPhone, you can get away with it, but it's probably not something you want to have as a permanent basis for your video production.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right, I think we're done.
Too easy.
Thank you, sir. As usual, very informative. Any questions, let us know in the contact section, or ping us an email at info@businessmarketingshow.com.
Cool.
Thanks, Brendan. Speak to you next week. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you on the other side.
Cool. See ya.
Bye. You've been listening to the Business Marketing Show. You can find us at businessmarketingshow.com, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher.